I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. By now, I'm sure you know that one of Donald Trump's top aides, Peter Navarro, was convicted in Washington, D.C. federal court for contempt of Congress. It took the jury about 4 hours to deliberate, but I want to focus on his loser reaction after losing the case. And some of his lawyers even pretended like this is the outcome that they wanted. It is a lesson in lying. It is a lesson in gaslighting. It is a lesson in just despicable behavior. A lesson that we shall not follow, but we shall call out. This is MAGA weirdo, strange behavior at its finest. And so after being convicted on 2 counts of contempt of Congress, Peter Navarro goes out. There's a bunch of protesters behind him who've done an exceptional job stopping his gaslighting. And Navarro, who spreads COVID disinformation all the time, he goes on the Bannon show and just over and over again just says lies and again delegitimizes vaccines and just a bunch of horrific stuff. Here is Navarro saying that many of you have used masks. That's because of me. Here, play this clip.
I helped the president create hundreds of thousands of manufacturing jobs during the pandemic. Every one of you here used masks, gloves, thermometers. Many of you got vaccinated. Many of you used things like remdesivir or monoclonal antibodies. I helped do that. I did. I was one of the guys in the White House. I was one of the guys in the White House early on, February 2020, writing memos say, this is serious. We got to get off the dime. And what do I get for that? I get a House of Representatives controlled by Nancy Pelosi trying to put me in prison. Why? Because I'm a Trump guy.
Okay, here's Peter Navarro saying that the likelihood of him going to prison is small because he thinks they're right on the issue. Play the clip.
But I also know that the likelihood of me going to prison is relatively small because we are right on this issue. And you know how I know that? The Department of Justice told us so in memos that span more than 50 years.
Okay, I love the protester who coughed and said BS, and then the protester who we've seen over and over again at Anarchy Princess, who I think has done an she's just so great. She goes, "You're going to prison. What do you mean you're right on the issue? You lost the case. You were just found guilty." Then Navarro starts soliciting donations, saying, "I need your help." And the protester who goes by Anarchy Princess says, "He's a grifter. He's grifting." And she also points out that he's grifting off of her image and that she is going to sue him. Here, play this clip.
Peter.com, I need your help.
Peter's grifting off my image.
And see,
I'm also going to sue you for using my image.
Yes, thank you. DefendPeter.com. This one of the last thing I'll leave you with is one of the strategies of clowns like this behind me is to get you involved in what's called.
Here's Navarro saying, "Don't put it in front of the camera," and a protester says, "You're in front of the camera." Play this clip.
You know, that's not proper. You do hold it there. If you want to put it, put it in front of my attorney's face, that's drawing the line. That guy could crush you, but don't put it in front of the camera, okay? That's not right.
You're in front of the camera.
I am, yeah.
Why don't we just get out of here?
No, hang on.
It's about time.
Hey.
Anyway.
Do you?
Okay.
Come on, man. Come on. Let him. Come on, man. If it was you, you would want the same respect, brother. All right? The man's trying to defend his ass.
See, okay? I love this guy. He doesn't agree with my political leanings, but he wants me to be able to speak.
You can have your right.
And this is the same guy. So, all right. I think. Well, what was your question?
Then, of course, we hear from his lawyers, and his lawyers say that today was a great day. It was an important step in the right direction for an appeal. And then a protester shouts, "You lost." Here, play the clip.
Okay.
I don't have anything much more to add to what Mr. Rowley just said. Yeah, today was an important step in the direction of a successful appeal. And that's about all I have to say. You seem to have missed the joke there.
All right.
Here is Navarro's lawyer also saying that we think that the evidence established that Donald Trump instructed Navarro to invoke the executive privilege. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Play the clip.
First time that a senior presidential aide who has served his president for 4 years has ever been held in contempt of Congress. There are legal issues here that need to be decided by the Court of Appeals. Judge Maida decided, based upon an evidentiary hearing last week, that there was inadequate evidence to show that President Trump had formally instructed Dr. Navarro to invoke executive privilege. Respectfully, we disagree with that decision. We think that the evidence established that in fact President Trump instructed Dr. Navarro to invoke executive privilege. But in any event, we think that based upon the separation of powers between Congress and the executive, that executive privilege is part and parcel of the office of the President of the United States, and that no express invocation of privilege was even necessary. Otherwise, President Reagan, for example, would have no executive privilege, and any confidential conversations he had with his senior aides at the time would be waived, and you all could ask his aides what President Reagan spoke to about sensitive matters.
Okay, you know, one of the most powerful arguments that was made by the prosecutors in this case, when the prosecutor said Navarro goes, in the closing arguments, the prosecutor, Department of Justice lawyer said, Navarro goes on all of these right-wing shows every day, and he talks about his role in the insurrection. He talks about the Green Bay sweep. He talks about all the things he was trying to do to overthrow our democracy, and to the right-wing media, he acts like a tough guy. Navarro also wrote a book where he talked about all of his involvement in January 6th, all of his work with Donald Trump. He wrote a book about it. So now you're saying that you believe that because of executive privilege, which, by the way, does not apply here at all, but because of your mistaken belief that you thought you should assert executive privilege, that's why you didn't testify before the January 6th committee. So you're willing to go on ban, and you're willing to stand there with signs, please give me money, please give me money, and then talk about all of the things that you did on right-wing media, but you couldn't speak to the January 6th committee. Total and utter BS. And then here Navarro says, sad day. He goes, it's a sad day for America, not because there were guilty verdicts, but because I can't have an honest conversation. Play this clip.
Go ahead and talk, man. Go ahead.
Sad day for America, not because they were guilty verdicts, because I can't come out and have an honest, decent conversation with the people of America. People of America, I want you to understand that this is the problem we have right here. This kind of divide in our country between the woke Marxist left and everybody else here. And this is nuts. So what I want to try to do here is have an interesting discussion about what just happened. That's what you all want to know. You want to know what just happened.
And again, that's the language not just of a criminal, now a convicted criminal, but that's also the language of an abuser, right? That's how abusive people talk. And you may know somebody like this in your life, but he goes, oh, I'm not here to hurt you. Oh, I'm just here to I just want to have an honest conversation. What I'm really upset about is that we just can't talk. It is the language of a narcissist, a sociopath. That is the language that abusers use to their victims. And we see this over and over again with MAGA. And finally, here's Peter Navarro having a bit of difficulty again with protesters. Play the clip.
There's cameras here. The marshals just saw you. The marshals just saw you. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. You just assaulted me. That man just assaulted me. He stuck a flagpole in between my legs.
Yeah.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. There you go. You're in
All right.
trouble now. They're calling protective services. I was just assaulted.
Look, if you got a sign,
No, I
hold it
didn't.
over there.
Liar.
I can hold it anywhere I want. This
Yeah.
is public property.
It's
sir.
assault. I want to press charges.
Let the
I
man
wanna press
talk.
Charges.
Are you interested in hearing
Come on,
him?
man. Go ahead, Peter. Go ahead and talk, man.
You're on
I
federal
don't
property.
agree with
not
some of your
MTV.
shit, but go ahead and talk, man.
I
Go
want to
ahead and
press
talk.
charges. No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
So Peter Navarro, guilty of contempt of Congress. Him, Steve Bannon. Oh, by the way, which I should mention about Bannon was also guilty of contempt of Congress as well. What I should mention about Navarro's lawyers, Stan Woodward, John Irving, are the lawyers representing the co-defendants in the Southern District of Florida criminal case against Donald Trump. Stan Woodward, John Irving is a cottage industry of MAGA lawyers. And this is what they do. Go to MeidasTouch.com for more, MeidasTouch.com for more, and see us as well at patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Have a great day.
Hey Midas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.